have for you my 5 favourite face masks. You may remember a little while ago I started a series called A Month in Masks, and I never kind of continued with it because, to be quite honest, not very many people watch the video, and I thought I'll just stick to reviewing them on my blog. But now I've reviewed so many and I feel like I can tell you the top ones that I've tried, kind of the pick of the litter. I am trying more again now, but I thought of the ones that I've tried, I'll tell you my favourites. So these are they. The first one is the Roche-Posay, and this is the Hydraphase Instant Mask, and this can be used as a regular 10-minute mask or an overnight mask. You can put it onto your skin, 10 minutes later just kind of wipe away the residue, and there'll still be something left on your skin, and then kind of leave that overnight. And I have done that occasionally, but generally I'll leave it on for a few hours whilst I'm pottering around the house, and then regularly cleanse and moisturise as normal. The one thing that I would mention about this is I think it's fantastic for all skin types. And we all get dehydrated skin. It's one of those things that's very difficult to manage when you have got oily skin. You don't want to put too much oil back into your skin because then obviously it overproduces, you get more spots, etc, etc. But you're looking for something hydrating in the winter because we do all need something like this. And it's very, very nice. I like the texture, it's not too heavy. Like I say, I do leave this on for longer than normal, as I do with all of the masks I'm going to talk about. I always put them on and kind of potter around or blog for a few hours and then take it off. But I do really, really rate this particular mask. And like I say, it's not targeting anything else, but it's really hydrating for winter. The next mask is very, very similar in that it also rehydrates, but it's also deep cleanses. It's kind of a multitasker. This is an Organic Serge first class masks. And again, this is an all skin types appropriate formula, you might say. So again, don't be too worried about hydration if you have oily skin. I know that it's something that I shied away for years, before I realised that it was completely different than adding oil and moisture into your skin. You do need to rehydrate your skin regardless of skin type. This is very, very nice. Again, it's not one that sets, neither of these are. It's kind of a lotion and it's wet on your skin. It kind of feels like you're putting a lotion on your skin, in fact. It doesn't feel like a mask. But this is really nice. It smells like lemon, and it's really refreshing, and it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. It's a very unusual texture for me because I was used to the clay-based masks because I am blemish prone and I do pick the ones that kind of dry out your skin a little bit more, whereas this deep cleanses, but it doesn't feel the same way. It's a really, really strange sensation if you're used to those regular clay masks, but it does the job. It definitely cleanses my skin, and my skin feels so, so smooth afterwards. And it's not dried out, which is what I'm used to after a mask, is my skin feels really, really tight, but now it feels kind of nourished and soft, which is unusual, but this year I've discovered lots of masks that are like that. So those two are very, very similar, but if I had to choose, I'd probably choose this one just because I prefer the scent, and generally my skin does feel a little bit better afterwards. Next is another one that's a strange formula to put on your face, and this one feels like jelly. It actually smells exactly like orange jelly, you know, like Rowntree's jelly before you've actually made it. It's a really strange smell to put on your face, but it's the Glycolactic Radiance Renewal Mask from Rennes, and I recently kind of got into, not even recently, I suppose in the last year, I got into kind of glycol and fruit acids and things like that to smooth my skin. It all started with the Peaches and Clean, which I'm going to mention in a minute as kind of an honorary mention in the mask category. But it all started with that, and I realised that my skin really, really liked that kind of product. And there's something in this that makes your skin tingle. It's very active, not unlike the Peaches and Clean. I wouldn't recommend this for super sensitive skins, but I know that lots of people have said, well, I've used it and it's fine, but I would just kind of put that disclaimer out that it is very active and it does tingle even on my skin, which is not sensitive at all. Around the same area is the Liquid Gold, which did a very, very similar thing. If you're looking to maybe try the Liquid Gold, I would recommend you try this first, because this is something that you could use once a week. I think it is about £30, it's quite expensive, but it's lasted me a long time. Something that you could use once a week. It's not quite as intensive as the Liquid Gold. Again, you could leave it on for as long as you want, dependent on your skin type. I leave this on for hours and hours and hours. Once I finish filming today, this is my mask of choice. I will be taking off my makeup and then leaving this on whilst I edit and upload and such. And I will definitely repurchase this. And I think I'd repurchase this over the Liquid Gold just purely because I can use it as a mask and it feels like a treat, whereas the Liquid Gold is just liquid that you put on your skin and it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. I know that it is, and the next morning my skin does look brighter, but with this it feels like I'm treating my skin. So this is kind of like Liquid Gold in a mask as far as I'm concerned, but like I say, it's not going to treat any certain ailments, it's just for kind of brightening and radiance. My last two masks I'm going to lump in together, and they are the Fab Pore mask by Soap & Glory and the Clinique Pore Minimizer. They basically do the same thing, obviously slightly different prices, but they do the same thing in different ways. And dependent on your kind of problem areas and the things that you're wanting to target, one may be better for you than the other one. I'll talk about the Fab Pore, I think it's called Fab Pore Peel. Yeah, Fab Pore Facial Peel. For one, it's not a facial peel. It's a bit strange that they've called it that because it's not got any kind of acidity in it that would smooth your skin. It's a bit strange and it doesn't peel off. So I don't know why they've called it that. If you don't want that because you think it's going to be some kind of DIY facial peel or a peel off mask rather, it's not, it's completely different. It is inside basically a clay mask that's got little tiny blue beads in it that you pop. I do like the smell, that you pop as you rub into your skin, and it sets, it's like a traditional clay-based mask. It sets on your skin, and I do see a visible difference when I've taken it off. My pores do shrink. They recommend that you use this every 3 to 4 days because it's obviously a limited time that they're going to be shrunken for. They're not actually shrunken, it's just, they appear to be smaller than they normally would. And they do recommend that you kind of top this up every 3 to 4 days. And if you do that and you have got larger pores than normal, I think that this would really, really help you. However, that's pretty much all it does for me. I really, really like it, and as a pore mask, I think it is amazing, but I think that the Clinique one is better. And once upon a time, I didn't like this. I thought that it was really not worth having. I just thought that it didn't really do much, and it was expensive for what it was. But in actual fact, it's actually not as expensive as I thought it was. In actual fact, this does some amazing things when I've got some real blemishes. I put this all over my face and it does shrink my pores, but also it really reduces the blemishes that I've got, and any breakouts that I have kind of shrink as well. And I think that because of that, I would repurchase this over the Soap and Glory because it has kind of double duty. It really does do something for my skin. It has got salicylic acid in it, which is going to help dry out any of those blemishes that you do have. But I don't know, I much, much prefer this formula. It's very, very thin and it's almost watery. It's a really strange consistency for a mask. But it's a lot more liquidy than the other one, which is more like a paste that you put on your face. And so as a result, this is a thin layer that you put on your face. You use a lot less of it, and ultimately it's probably a better value mask. But I know that I've raved about the Soap and Glory one in the past. I just kind of wanted to put this in because recently I've been using it again. Lee uses it as well and he thinks this is good as well. But recently I've been using it again and I've discovered that it has these extra benefits of getting rid of blemishes as well. So I would recommend that over the Soap and Glory, but I do love them both. Lastly, I have my honourable mention, which is the Peaches and Clean. For about a year and a half, I've been going on and on about this and telling people they have to try it. I know it's £7, but come on, at the end of the day, if you find something that's an absolute amazing holy grail skincare product, it's £7 well spent. And if it's not amazing, give it to a friend and see if they love it, because I know that it's one of those things that has got active ingredients in it and it could break you out, you could have a bad reaction, but you could not have a bad reaction. It could be amazing. It's just this and my dual action moisturiser from Clean & Clear, I cannot tell enough people to try. Unfortunately, this is slightly more expensive, but still it is drugstore prices. It's just kind of high-end drugstore prices. Why I'm mentioning this in my masks video is because although I love it as a cleanser, the reason that I think that it is so effective for me is because I actually use it I leave it on my skin for quite a long time before I cleanse my face. Basically, I'll take off my makeup with one thing and then I use this. I'll put quite a thick covering on my face and I'll leave it for 10-15 minutes while I'm kind of washing my hair, shaving my legs, watching YouTube videos in the bath, and then I'll use my Clarisonic to buff it away. Clarisonic isn't necessary, you could use a muslin cloth and I think you'd pretty much get the exact same results. I think it's just an expensive way to buff things off your face, which I'm hoping will do something long term, but I'm not going to be recommending the Clarisonic just to use with this. But I think that the reason that it's so effective for me is because I leave it on my skin for a long time. And the other day I actually left it on overnight. And I think this pretty much had the same results as my liquid gold. It has glycol. I've got to admit, I've said this in the past and I've looked it up, I thought the glycol was at least a derivative of glycolic acid, and I've been told that I'm wrong. Even though when I look online it does appear that way, I don't want to say for sure because lots of viewers in the past have said, no, it's not this and it's not this. So let's just say it's got fruity acids in it that smooth your skin. And I find that the result that I get is almost identical to liquid gold when I leave it overnight. You don't have to leave it overnight. You could leave it on for an hour or two, whatever, like I do with the rest of my masks, and then wash it off at bath time. But I think that this does better as a mask than a cleanser. So those of you that have tried it and said, I don't really understand, you know, it's not really done anything, maybe that's why. I've never really used it as a regular cleanser, just kind of put it on your face and then wipe it away. Because at the end of the day, what's the point in spending money on something you're just washing down the drain? It's not staying like conditioner I like, but shampoo, it's kind of, you wash your hair, you rinse it out. What can it possibly be doing for you? Can't be doing as much as something that you're leaving in for a little bit longer. And so I think that's why this is so amazing for me. If you have tried it and you thought it wasn't so great, maybe try it again this way. And if you haven't tried it, I would recommend it. But do be aware that some people do have bad reactions, but then they do to everything. I just always feel like I should disclaim this because it does tingle a little bit on your skin when you start using it, and occasionally, especially when I first started using it, my skin would look a little bit red and tender after using it as a mask. So just be aware of that, but I do really, really like this. So that's it for my 5 favourite masks. I hope you enjoyed the video. I am completely in love with all 5 of these, plus my Peaches and Clean. I would recommend any of them to you, but I will say that the First Class Mask from Organic Serge and the Pore Minimising Face Mask from Clinique are the top 2 that I would say if you were going to try any, try those. Like I say, I have got some more that I'm trialling at the moment, so if you're looking for more face mask reviews, then check out my blog because I've done lots in the past, and you'll see other ones from Lush, etc. that I have reviewed. I've never really found a Lush mask that I've been completely over the moon with. They were okay, but I don't like the idea that I have to use them up immediately. And I don't know, Lush is so expensive. People ask me all the time why I don't talk more about Lush products, because I don't try that many. I think it's expensive for what it is. I get that it's like organic or natural or whatever, but I'm not really that bothered in that. Give me chemicals any day if it's gonna do something amazing for my skin. So I will be trying more Lush masks this year, but I have some more to try soon. And like I say, check out on my blog, which I'll link below, because I will be doing Face Mask Friday for the next few weeks as well. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please go subscribe and check out all of my links in the down bar. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Did you notice you can now follow my blog via Google Friend Connect again? Follow the links below.